Thank you.
Would you mind if I borrow your pen?
Sure. No,
Okay,
I think she said she spoke with you about.
I think she did. I just was,
Okay.
since I'm sending
Just sending it
emails.
to everybody? Yeah.
COVID-19 has put my life on pause, but my doctor says vaccines are
Okay, I
safe,
got it.
effective, and taken by many. I'm helping my
Think this we could be done with this?
vaccines.gov.
The music?
Do this.
Okay, you can turn it off.
I think it's, we need to get into this. Let me just finish.
I got the music. You want to turn off the music? She's on my car.
It's not you, Rod.
I don't know where people are coming from, but if they're coming, I came from the south side, but coming down 285, there was an accident on that side, so I don't know if anybody might be caught in that.
Coming from the west side over.
Going north-south or northwest. In other words, going down towards Roswell Road.
Okay.
That side, there was an accident, so traffic is backed up. So I don't know if anybody's coming that way. I was on the other side, so I was okay.
How many people are in at night?
There should be at least 8 people here,
Okay.
and
I think that's true.
yeah,
We'll have
people are
time for
just
the,
getting. Well, Veronica comes from College Park.
Okay.
Let's see. There's Jaima.
Jamie's not coming in today. She has an appraisal.
Say that again.
Jamie's not coming in today.
she has an appraisal.
All right, madam, do you want me to put this on the old slideshow?
Yeah.
And how about the clicker?
So y'all have an email from Stacy,
Well, the ones that,
and you're gonna print it up.
I can work him an email if you need me to. I'm flexible. Whatever you guys gotta do.
oh, maybe somebody could just print it.
I can do that.
Okay.
If I send it directly to the printer, I never use the printer though.
Okay, the email is the Elements Chapter 1. I just went to it in my KW.
Yes.
I don't love that, that's why. That's why I have so much trouble.
Okay, so,
I'll be back with printed copies.
okay, appreciate
How about
it.
3?
She gonna kill y'all. Does she need 5? Does she technically need to get 5 copies?
No, I'm gonna use my keyboard and I have a notebook, so I'll survive.
Okay,
I can't find it now.
all right, so let's go ahead and, there we go, get started. So today's y'all first elementals class. So y'all been doing a lot of stuff, dealing with like mindset and everything. Today is like when you're really digging into your business and doing things to get it moving. So that's why the printed copies, at least being able to have your participant handbook, is so important, because when the goal is when you leave out of here, you actually have your prospecting plan done. So it's a lot of work time. So I definitely appreciate you investing in your business and spending time with me today. So my goal overall is to make sure that you get what you need from this class. So what we're going to cover is you'll be able to describe prospecting, how it impact your business, explain the different prospecting methods, and develop your own prospecting plan. But overall, that's what we're going to talk about. But for me, I want y'all to think about what would make your time here worthwhile. If you get an answer to one question, what would that question be? I'm gonna ask each one of y'all, we're gonna put it on the board, and if that means, if it's not even prospecting things, if there's something that's going on that's kind of have you blocked, like let's make sure we get the answer to that today, because my goal is to make sure that all of our time is spent valuable and well played, and that you actually get what you need. I am gonna come back and forth to this notebook to try to stay on track with the Ignite material, but I'm totally okay with getting off track and y'all getting the answer to what you need. So think about that. We're gonna go around the room. I'm gonna note it down on the board. In the meantime, my name is Rashonda Rowe-Coleman. I've had my license since 2013. I was working part-time, so I had a corporate job while I had my real estate license. One day I said, I don't want to be here anymore, and I left. Prospecting is something I'm really excited to talk about because that's how I had to build my business. I have a really great networking base. However, I had to lead gen in other ways and prospect with people that I don't know. I will tell you that I was the renegade. So anything they told you that you should do, I in the beginning said, no, I'm not going to do it. I had to come back to the basics. So if you don't get anything from me today, just know that it will save you a lot of time and energy if you do just follow the basics and not try to be all over the place. I can tell you so many different horror stories of almost everything that you learn at Ignite that I said I'm not going to do. And I didn't do it, and then I had to come back and do it. So one of the things Gary Keller, he always talks about is you add your creativity once you understand the foundation and the basics. So we're gonna spend a lot of time just figuring that out for you. Everybody's prospecting plan should be a little bit different because you all enjoy doing something differently. Something makes you totally unique compared to the other person. So how about you? What's your one thing you want to get out of the way today that if we answer that question, you can say, hey, my time is well spent and it was worth me getting in trouble by not having my elemental book. And give me your names too. I may not totally remember, but give me your names. So who wants to go first? Jason.
Hi, my name is Jason Kelly Johnson. I feel like my biggest problem is just like I would say like just having that confidence. Like, you know, I feel like maybe I'm too analytical sometimes.
Okay.
And, you know, similar to you, I come from a corporate background. I feel like that kind of stays in my way. But the way that I've kind of been working through that is just like I've been reading a little bit more. So I feel more confident with certain things. I don't feel confident with everything, but I feel like I've been taking the steps necessary to enhance my enhance my knowledge in it and just to growing. So I've been part of this group in the mornings where we do script practice, and I think I do believe that still I have to learn more about the market per se, and just so I could exude that level of confidence.
Okay. So your one thing you want to get out, your one answer is, what can I do to feel more confident?
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Next person.
Hi, I'm Althea. I am a linear thinker and doer, ALTHEA. I'm a gatherer, like I want all the information before I start. I'm one of those people that the pencils are sharpened, the paper's in the plate, like everything has to be in a certain way. I'll get the information and then I go.
Okay.
So there's so much information that I want it all before I launch.
Okay. Okay. So you're the person who feels like you have to be super prepared. So you're the person out there who feels like you need to be super prepared before you even take the first step. So you're trying to figure out how to get into action.
Yes, but so the dichotomy, the way I mess myself up is I don't. So
Okay.
I walked in with a listing.
Okay.
Before I even, hey, here's my license, my name is Althea, I have a listing, what do I do?
Okay.
So I get stuff happens and I make things happen, but then I don't know what to do with it
Okay,
because I don't have all the information. So it makes me stop and say, okay, now let me get the information so I can get this right.
okay, got it. So there's two types of people. There's the type of person that you described yourself as, that they feel like they need to study before they take action. And then there's the type of person that I tend to be, that I'll take action and I'll fix the plane while I'm in the sky. And so we actually have to borrow from each other. Like, so for you, you have to take action, then stop, make some time to make tweaks, and then take action again. For people in the room that are like me, we have to stop, take some time to think, then take action. So you have to kind of go in verse. So your challenge for today, we're actually going to create your prospecting plan. You have to take action on one element before you can leave this room today. Heard? Okay. Next person. And see, nobody has said anything about our topic yet, which is fine, because it's the one thing that something that you need, I don't care what it is, it's gonna all tie into prospecting anyway. Okay.
So I jumped into this class because I was technically not even an employee yet.
Uh-huh.
So I'm coming in kind of in the middle, but as someone who wants to be sort of ready by the time I do take the class in August, my question is, that I want to get out of today, is how do I not go crazy and spend way too much money on stuff? Because I feel like my lead generation, my prospecting is going to be in sort of trying to send out postcards and get my name known, because I'm not really from Georgia.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I got to work people that I don't know. So what I would like to see, like, what websites are trust, you know what I mean? Like, how do you start in this marketing stuff without going too expensive and just spending money in the wrong places, like on address lists and, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, so like being fiscal and smart about the start.
Okay. So today I'm focusing on prospecting. I don't know if you're planning on coming tomorrow.
I have to work tomorrow, which stinks.
Okay.
But I can come for like the first literally 35 minutes, but I would feel so rude if I ran out of here.
Okay. Well, Michelle's doing the class tomorrow. She has a personality like me. She'll be totally fine.
Okay.
I am going to talk about the difference between prospecting and marketing.
Okay.
And definitely can give you some budget-friendly ways on how to do that. But that's going to be in this class. Well, prospecting, the heavy split on marketing is tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to make sure I answer your question.
Awesome, thank you.
So you'll be fine.
Cool. Because I'm just like, I'm in like research mode right now. Because
Okay.
like, I'm like behind all these folks.
Okay.
You know, I'm like, they don't even have my papers in the computer yet. I mean,
Okay.
I'm that fresh.
Okay. And
So-
let everybody know your name. I met you.
Victoria. I was in class, I've been hanging out with
Victoria
y'all.
brought great donuts.
Yeah, I brought donut. I'm the donut girl now.
Okay. I saw donuts in the break room. So.
I had a question because I came in late, I'm sorry. I didn't know what the question was that you were asking, like prompting to everybody that they were answering.
So today we're talking about prospecting, but my question is, what do you want to get out of today? It can be about prospecting, and it's just one thing. Like when you leave out this room, you have the answer to that one thing. Your time here has been worthwhile and valuable. Okay. So that's what everybody's answering.
Okay, hi, I'm Alan, and I'm taking this the second time, a repeat offender. And like you, I'm a natural born renegade, and like you, the reason I'm taking is I want to get back to some of these basics.
Okay. So other than so give me an example of one basic fundamental thing that you really need to get back to.
Time blocking and lead generating, and just really making myself sit down and lead generating.
Okay. Cool. I will tell you,
So I start getting up. I'm like you as far as getting in the plane and being all over the place.
Yeah. Like, I don't know like where to start. Like, you start in one neighborhood, you know, like how do you?
Well, lead generating my sphere.
Yeah.
okay.
That's because I've got a huge sphere because of my background.
Okay.
And that's trying to get in front of them and get them to refer them, let them know that first half of my life I was in show business, the second half of my life I was in liquor business.
Okay.
I think I've gotten the word out that I'm no longer in the liquor business.
Okay. But you can throw a real good party.
I'm most comfortable at a bar, I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Okay,
even at a party, so,
okay.
yeah, so, yeah, reach out to my sphere.
One of the bold laws that I've had to focus on the most is if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. Because leaving my corporate environment where I was very scheduled, I always had to be somewhere. You know, I was like, oh, I own my own business now. I can do whatever I want. And I went away from the schedule until you realize, like, no, you still need your schedule. So time blocking is a thing. I call my lead gen time my money making time, because lead gen for me doesn't speak to me. It doesn't say anything.
Okay.
So I just, you can money making time, appointment setting time, whatever it is that you need to. For me, I always bypass that block on my calendar because it's even if it was anything.
Dolores, my question is, how to lead gen if you don't have a skill? If you were just starting or just moving here, as Victoria said, just coming in, and you don't know anybody, how do you start?
Okay.
Or where do you start?
Okay. So we'll definitely talk about that. So I had a sphere, but my sphere didn't see me as a real estate agent. So I fell into this category when I first started. Because I was like, Alan, anybody I called, they was trying to have me do something for my former life. So I had to stop calling them and build it from
I
a
still
no
get
sphere.
texts.
Yeah.
Go to the liquor store, what bourbon would you recommend?
Right. I'm talking about real estate right now. So
How about a house?
right. So welcome, what we're talking about is the one thing that if you get it today, answer about anything. The topic is prospecting, but if there's anything you want to learn, that's what we'll get. So straight line, here we go. Who wants to go first? Okay.
I guess for me, my name is Sahai.
Okay.
Yes. For me in prospecting, well, because I'm kind of young, so when you guys are talking about your spheres, like my spheres, my peers, and you're not like home buyer ready yet. So like finding that sphere that is ready, but like being able to like relate to them. I'm kind of stuck in the middle.
Okay. So your thing is finding ready people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It's hard with their parents, but we can talk about that.
Or my parents' friends.
Your parents' friends, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's so hard because it's like for them to take me serious, because I'm still like to them the baby.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, she does what? That's so cute. It's like, no, this is my business. So
Okay. And honestly, you may fall in the same category of what Dolores is talking about too.
yeah.
Like sometimes you have to start out, then come back in to help build a presence. And when I say that's what I did, that's legit what I had to do. All right.
My name's Anita,
Okay.
and kind of all of those rolled into one. So I could say I have an obstacle with each one of those things probably, but kind of the same issue, I guess, of needing to be, or feeling the need to be more prepared before I jump in.
Okay.
That's probably bigger, I guess, than the rest.
So typically, when y'all finish your Ignite class, do y'all just leave the building? Do y'all like run to your cars first day? or do you typically stay, soak it in, and start executing? Like what do you typically do?
Depends.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do both.
Yeah.
Okay.
All depends what I have to do afterwards, but if I don't, I usually stay here and get some work done.
Okay. Do y'all have like a group text going? Okay. So I mean, y'all are doing this class for like a long time together. So make sure that y'all form a community to help each other. And especially going into this elementals part of it, this is your business part right here. Like I said, everything life of a real estate agent, mind share, that's what it's been before. This is like the nitty gritty stuff of how you make your money. And that's why I wanted to make sure that I capture what you need, because by the time you leave here, you should have people under contract or you should be closing on somebody. So like being able to dig in together and sometimes having that group of like, look, yeah, I haven't did any of my stuff. And somebody saying, no, I have, it really helps. So I would encourage y'all, if you feel comfortable, to go ahead and create your community because you're spending so much time together. I still talk to all of my Ignite people. So, hello, hydrated person.
My name is Veronica.
Okay.
I need a lot of work. I'm new. I don't really go out, so I need to start making my sphere and being comfortable with it. And everything that they said, I pretty much.
But for you personally, Veronica, within yourself, what is it? That one thing that is like, I really need this. So time flies. And I will tell you, you guys, in the world of real estate, whoo, that time management thing is a beast. That if you don't get it, you are going to end up with no money in your account. Or you're going to end up like in desperation. And you missed it. Like, when I say I bucked against trying to do anything from a schedule perspective, I just wanted to go with the flow. Like, I really did. Like, listen, let me wake up today. Whatever I feel like doing, that's what I do. So that does not work in the real world of real estate. You will not get a paycheck coming in. Because typically, like today, I'm bad with dates. But whatever you put under business, today's June 23rd, whatever you put under contract today, or whatever you do today, you're technically working on business or closing in August right now. Like that is your timeline. So figuring out time management when we feel like we have so much freedom is a big thing. That if you get that one thing down, you'll be a piece of that. So, all right. Let's get into, again, so from a content perspective, I need someone to keep me honest, make sure I am knocking through this list as we go through stuff. Again, I'm going to float back and forth from the book to your participant guide. But today we're really focusing on lead generating for buyers and sellers is what the focus of today is about from a prospecting standpoint. And we're gonna just connect everything overall to lead generation. And this is gonna be key for you, this piece right here. So we are gonna be breaking out in groups. I'm sure y'all been breaking out in groups this whole time. So there's gonna be certain things that you break out and do some work on. So the lead generation model overall, there's two pieces. It's prospecting and marketing. There is a difference between prospecting and marketing. Prospecting is super active. Marketing is very passive and indirect. Your money typically comes from your marketing activities and not your prospecting activities. And so the prospecting and marketing basically helps you get a lead or a contact. The leads are people that you may have to nurture long term, but the majority of the time, the major difference between your leads and your contacts is your lead is someone who has an immediate real estate need. They need to purchase or sell within the next 90 days. A contact is someone that, hey, I just met and we're just gonna stay in contact with each other. I am going to show y'all how to do certain things in Command in case anybody's been using Command on a regular basis.
Trying to now, yeah.
Okay, so I am going to show you how to do certain things in Command. Just again, I am a very action-based person. I really believe in inspiration, but I also believe in perspiration and putting things into place. So I'm going to show y'all how to leverage what we have for free. But regardless, more than likely, from a lead and contact standpoint, you have to cultivate it over time. So that's where I was talking about with Command. There are smart plans already set up to help us if we forget about somebody. We just put the contact in Command and let the system help us do our job. One of the notifications that just went off is every day I get a notification from Kelly on who I need to call, who has a birthday that I need to do a social media post for, who I need to send a birthday card for. Kelly is like, I have an assistant, but Kelly is one of my free assistants that I don't pay for that we all have. And so that's the benefit of using Command because, again, for us people who may want to buck against the system, we have something popping up on our phone saying that you told this person that you're calling them back, you need to call them. And it just keeps reminding you until you take care of it.
So, Prashonda, can I ask you, so when we set up a smart plan in Command, it comes to your phone through Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I have never understood Kelly.
Yeah, and you have to, let me see if my notification already went off. Well, Nate's doing something in Command right now. But you see that this is the Kelly notification that I got right here. And so today, this guy named Keith, it's his birthday, so I need to call Keith at some point today. And the reason why I know that is because everybody's set up on a birthday smart plan that's in my command. So if you're not in my command, then I just don't know who's birthday. But yeah, and it really helps keep me organized. So for our naturally prepared people, you may not really need it because you're naturally somebody that's prepared. But for us,
no, I need that too.
Okay. But for us non-naturally prepared people, we need that help. So smart plans are great, and it's going to trigger. And overall, what they help you do is they're helping you cultivate this piece. The key guy that I'm talking about is actually an agent. And so I'm going to talk today about doing agent referrals. So he's not even a client, he's an actual agent in another state. So once you go from the cultivate stage, you do appointments. That person becomes active, meaning they're actively looking to buy or they're actively looking to sell. You put them under contract and you close. The major piece, I've already said it once, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it today, but if you don't prospect, you're never making it to step 8, which is close. So you have to consistently make sure that you're prospecting. Even those times, you guys, at some point you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like, hey, I got too much business. All I can focus on right now is my current business. I don't have time to set my make money appointment time. What happens is you close those people, but you don't have nobody else pending. So you have to.
God's ears. I hope I have that.
It will happen. And you will want to stop. You will always hit barriers where you start to feel overwhelmed, and your natural reaction will be, all I can do is focus on what I have right now. I can't pull in anything else. If you push through that ceiling, your business will really work really well. Okay? I remember 2 years ago, I had 10 closings all happening in the same month, and I wanted to stop. I was like, this is bad shit crazy. Dang, go on. This is crazy. My apologies. That came out before I even realized it came out.
That'll be bleeped out in the.
I know, but that's how I felt during that time. And I'm not even a cursor. If you're around me, I'm like, you really, but that's how crazy that period of time was for me. But I knew that if I did not keep going, that yeah, June was going to be an awesome month. But come September, I wasn't gonna have any closings. So I had to just keep pushing through it. And that's when I really started using a transaction coordinator the most too. So I don't know if y'all heard about that, but that service really helps you take certain things off your plate that once you get here, you're just doing like touch points to say, hey, how you doing? And somebody else is doing all the paperwork and stuff in the background. Am I talking too fast? I did have coffee. I am trying to, I'm from Louisiana, so I shouldn't talk fast. I talk like I'm from New York or something, but I'm actually from the South.
No, but you're giving us great.
So let me know if I do, and I'm kind of. So the main thing with prospecting is your message and your method. Have y'all heard of the phrase MOFR? Which basically means that whenever you create a message, you want to create a response for people to respond back to you. So anytime you're creating a message, make sure that it's matching whoever your market is. Make sure that you understand what your target audience is. So if I'm targeting my parents' friends, then I need to do a celebration post about like, hey, I'm a business owner, I'm a grown woman, this is what I can help you with, this is my client. For them, you probably want to have a client. This is my client that I helped save this much or do this. That would be your message. Call me and let me tell you how baby girl has grown up and how I can help you. You know, like, that don't tweak the message, but, but something like that. That's your message. It's matching the market that you're going after, who are your parents' friends, and you're just making sure that it makes sense. And then the method of prospecting marketing, I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into that. But just make sure you tailor it overall. And you always wanna have some type of call to action. I would say, you know, the one that you hear a lot in Ignite is, you know, anybody who wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, play off of that a little bit. I mean, a lot of people say that. So find your own way to tailor it once you have something else to offer. But don't knock the, do you know anyone that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Because that's a foundational question. So once you get that foundation question right, then you build onto it. So marketing, this is what I was talking about. Marketing is very money intensive, it's passive, and it's something that you're doing from a long-term results perspective. So you can market social media, we're gonna talk about that. You can market with direct mail and postcards. You can market just from like a Facebook perspective. You can market through client events. When you were thinking about budget-friendly marketing, what were you thinking about doing?
I'm thinking on the tangible stuff that I'm actually gonna be buying, not just the Facebook stuff. So like my girlfriend's having a party to celebrate being cancer-free in the park. I'm gonna provide the water, you know, and the soft drinks for the event. You know, so how do I stick something on, you know, on the bottle without going crazy? Cards, I definitely want to do some kind of postcards. I was thinking of same thing, like trying to get my husband's families, you know, kind of, and that kind of level of people. So I was thinking of maybe doing a postcard. We're going on vacation soon. He got something going on. I got this new career. I was thinking of doing like an update to our wedding list. Like, hey, COVID's been crazy. We haven't been able to catch up. We just went on this trip, you know, we want to reach out to everybody. And I'm not even going to say anything like call me. It's just going to be, you know, Rob upgraded to a bigger plane and I transitioned into a new career and I'm turning 40. Like, you know, just an update, like postcard. And so how do you go, like not go crazy? And then postcards, sorry, not to go crazy again. I run. That's in New York and me, sorry. But the postcards, then taking that idea and then marketing it to a neighborhood. So both, the small postcard intimate and then the postcards that you send out with the list that you paid for.
So a couple of things. We're gonna go ahead on and knock out your question right now. And then throughout this, it's gonna be content to reinforce it. The water, you know, like a congratulations in your name, something simple, nothing big on the back. That's how I would do the water and soft drinks. I love this postcard idea that you're doing. Do it through Command. Command is the cheapest way to send out postcards. So from an option standpoint, you have Command you can send out postcards through. You have Remind you can send out postcards to. We have an Office Depot card, so you can go to Office Depot, have them do a postcard. Do y'all have the Office Depot code? We're gonna be so all over the place today. So I need somebody to keep me track of time because I really want to make sure that you, I'll give y'all the Office Depot code. You have an Office Depot code that you can print postcards to, but the cheapest one that I found is Command.
Is that because you're not paying like setup fees for like the logos and all that kind of stuff?
Like all you're doing is the design. So I actually have a postcard that's being getting ready to go out right now. So
if I could, after class, if I could see, just take a peek at it. Because I'd love to look at like the one that I want to do first is the personal one, which is going to be a picture of my husband and I just showed the wedding list. That 150 people that we know. Recently, 2017, we got, you know, so. But and then I want to do something more towards a larger audience, probably what you're doing, right?
But you can use the same postcard. Just tailor it and tweak it. The neighborhood that I would go to is your own personal neighborhood. Like don't form another neighborhood. Do your personal neighborhood. Hey, we're your neighbors. In case you don't know us, this is what we got. So the easiest neighborhood to typically form is your neighborhood. You start there and then you branch out. But Command is the cheapest one to go in. In Command, you can either pull in your design or you can set your design. So when y'all go out in the breakout session, I'll pull up my stuff in Command so you can see it.
That'd be awesome.
So, and then for you, I would just play off your neighborhood. So the cheap way is door knocking. Again, it's gonna be a prospecting method that we talk about. You know,
I did it for the census. I'll never do it again.
you know.
No, I'm
But
serious.
you're
It was horrible. Like when you have people saying, if you don't get off my property, I'm gonna shoot you and never come back. You might have different door knocking. I will not. With Ring doorbells, people really don't want to they don't want to even answer their door anymore. I think we're in a different, I don't mind reaching out, like going to a park. I don't mind approaching people in a grocery store, but knocking on people's personal homes is just something that's just not in my. That's like a hard no for me.
Okay, so cool, because when we go through the prospecting list, you're gonna know that for you, that's not a prospecting option. For me,
it just brings so much fear to me, you know, but for you, if it's...
Yeah, I was gonna say, for me, door knocking is a prospecting option for me, and I do it. The other thing, then, you can throw things for your neighborhood. So we're talking, again, budget friendly.
Awesome.
Do a garage sale in your neighborhood. Do a slow down, kids live here sign in your neighborhood. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Free of charge. You don't have to do anything. Everybody just start to know you as the neighborhood person. And then you branch that out.
Okay.
Because marketing is money intensive.
That's what I'm scared of.
It can cost money, and it's a long-term play. So it's not something that, hey, I spend $500 today and I'm seeing that return tomorrow. It's something that you have to commit to at least for 6 months, then evaluate if it's working and if you're getting an ROI before you stop doing it. So once you commit to it, stay there and then see what happens, and then you cut the thing.
So you're thinking like 300 contacts in your neighborhood, like keep it small like that so that you can keep going after the same group for every month?
No, do all the contacts, because when you're printing, the more you print, brings down your cost. Yeah. Yeah. So once you're doing it, that's still for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't blast everybody.
Okay. And like you can do that through, all that can be done through Command?
All of it can be done through Command.
Awesome. That's perfect. Especially for a first timer, thank you.
Yeah.
There's just so much out there now with the internet. If you Google that kind of stuff, it's very overwhelming. So I'd rather something I can at least start with.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the Office Depot printing, I've done the Vista Print printing, I've done the Reminders printing, and the only reason I know Command is cheaper because I legit have, Nate is working on a postcard for me, and we did a cost analysis on there. Tell me how much it costs from each one of these things in Command was cheaper.
Well, that's why we're lucky to have you here, so thank you.
My assistant.
So, in the same vein of your neighborhood, is there a flyer that you can print up in Command, and what do you think as opposed to mailing it, just driving and putting it in the mailboxes?
Well, that's where I was going with door knocking.
Yeah, I don't mind doing like, not like stuff like that, but I don't want to.
That's almost like in the same league as door knocking?
Yeah, that's where I was going with the door knocking suggestion.
Okay.
You just can't put it in the mailbox, so you have to go to the door.
Oh, you can't put it in the mailbox?
No, you can't touch the mailbox at all.
I'm 70 years old, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right, I won't
They
do it.
catch it in there with your information, they have about contact.
Even
I'll
like
take
the
that.
even like the census, like we missed you, even if it's a government thing, you have to leave it in their
Oh, so you have
door.
to- Wow.
So, mhm.
Yeah, make
Yeah,
sure.
you can put it in,
Yeah.
and they can find you.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
definitely
Definitely
don't do that.
I didn't know that.
So Victoria, are you good on your budget friendly marketing?
Yes, I got a whole, now I can go play around in Command when I finally get access and look at it, yes, absolutely, thank you.
You're welcome. And then prospecting, it's the flip. Prospecting is time intensive. Like you can't prospect without spending time to do it. But it's free. And it's very proactive, and you can see immediate results. You can literally call 30 people today. I'm making up a number. You have to figure out what your conversion rate is, but you can call 30 people and you can get 1 referral. For me, I can call 7 people, and more than likely I'm gonna walk away with 3 referrals. So time intensive, but immediate results. And so that's why you have to have both. We're gonna skip the exercise that we're supposed to talk about on the slide, because I think we talked about some other stuff. So let's go to your participant handbook. Turn to page 4. And this is we've touched on some of these things. There are a variety of ways to really prospect. You guys have already shared some methods that you've tried. So overall, based on all of these methods, do you think it's best to use all of these or to just focus on a few?
Focus on a few.
Why would you say that?
If ultimately our time is limited, we really don't we really don't have enough time to like do everything. So if you try to do everything, you're just gonna be like, you know how they say, a master, a master, what is it called?
Jack of all trades,
master of none.
Okay, cool beans. I would agree with you on that. So let's go into a deep dive of all the different prospecting methods. And so we kind of touched on our door knocking, agent-to-agent referrals, open houses, social media. All of these are prospecting based but marketing enhanced things. The reason why is marketing enhanced. So if we say with our door knocking thing, it's prospecting, but the marketing piece is what's that collateral piece that you're giving out. So that's why it's called marketing enhanced. Same thing with running a social media post. Like, it's prospecting, you're actively engaging with people on social media, but that marketing piece of it is, what does that piece look like? Are you doing a paid social media ad, whatever? But it's prospecting based, marketing enhanced versus being marketing based, prospecting enhanced. Marketing based, I'm spending a lot of money. Usually when you're beginning as a new agent, you don't want to spend a lot of money. You want to get clients. Yes, Sahai.
Yes, and like, I was gonna ask you if you want to go back up there and switch up the name, because that's not how you spell my name. I know you're doing it off of sound. And
how is it?
It's Tsehai, so the T is silent.
Okay. Gotcha.
But okay, so I wanted to say, me and another Keller Williams agent who's based in Florida, we're like accountability partners right now. And so she and I plan to do a like a Instagram live talking about being young agents. Would that be considered like being prospecting based with the marketing?
So y'all are talking about being agents.
Being agents, and then kind of talking about our experiences and then the benefits of having an agent. I don't know, just kind of, it's a large range of questions that we were gonna kind of touch on. So I didn't know if that would be considered. Oh, is that?
So let's walk through your example. And this is why I need Jason to keep me on time, because I want y'all to get what you need. You and the agent are going live on Instagram.
Yes.
Who's your market that y'all are targeting?
It's honestly gonna be, because we're young. She's 21, I'm 22. So it's gonna be our followers who is like the 20s.
But are you targeting people to go into a career in real estate? Are you targeting people to say, hey, this is why you should go ahead and start considering investing in real estate?
The second one.
Okay. So it would be prospecting based, marketing enhanced. But just make sure you go through this method and have make sure y'all's message is very clear.
Okay.
And with that, so you know, they just changed the student loan debt limit.
Yes.
So that needs to be one of y'all key talking points.
Student loan debt limit.
So where they changed it from looking at 1% of their total student loan debt balance to 0.5%. That helps a lot for people to qualify, because a lot of people take away from a DTI perspective I'm going too deep, but just make sure that student loan change is a part of y'all talking point.
Did they just change the FHA too?
They did.
Yeah.
Make sure that's a part of a talking point. Make sure, find somebody young who's invested.
Yeah.
So that they can see, that's one of my biggest mistakes. Oh my gosh, do you understand? So my brother he's in college. Yeah. My parents had show the benefit, but it will be prospecting based marketing.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can we actually get what you were just showing her, that market
I took a picture of it on my phone.
Okay. And if y'all had a group text, all you had to do was pop it in for everybody.
And actually,
I do have it.
It's right here.
Which,
Oh, it's just written out?
Yeah.
Which one were you asking for? That one?
nope,
Or the-
that one,
the-
nope, that one.
Okay.
That's what your method.
Let me see. That one I
I
can
don't see
see
that.
here anyway.
Did you take a picture of that one?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Let's go to page 5 in your participant guide. So if we go to page 5, that's dealing with door knocking. We've already heard some of the limiting beliefs around door knocking. I may get cursed out, somebody gonna show up with a gun. I'm gonna be talking to a Ring doorbell. And all of those things can happen. We went door knocking, and some of those things did happen. Like I was definitely talking to a Ring doorbell a lot of times. But I got business out of it. It just depends on your personality. For me, doing cold calls, it wasn't an immediate response. Like I don't like sitting waiting for somebody to answer the phone. For me, with door knocking, at least I was getting steps in. So if nobody answered the door, at least I was benefiting on my fitness journey.
So did you massage the area before you knocked? Like, did you send out something, or did you knocked first and then you went back?
I
and you
knocked.
touched?
I knocked first, and then I went back and I touched. So it was a neighborhood that I actually have a client that wants to live in that neighborhood. And so the marketing piece was a flyer saying like, hey, I have somebody that wants your house. But I didn't say your house. It was like, do you have a neighbor that's interested in selling? Do you know anybody that's interested in selling? And that actually helped the conversation because it's easier to get someone to talk about somebody else in the neighborhood before themselves. And if they said no, then I would say, what about yourself? But I always left a piece of paper if somebody didn't answer at the door and kept it moving. I think, do y'all get the concept of door knocking? Because I want to kind of, if not.
I have a question. I got the concept of door knocking, but my question is this: when you started, did you start with a particular area to farm, or did you start with a client that you were looking for a house with? You follow what I'm saying?
Okay, so when I first started, I started in an area that I wanted to farm. I started in a neighborhood. So let me tell you some tips and tricks of what I didn't do so you can just go straight to the right thing. When you go to the neighborhood, don't go to the doors that aren't owner occupied. So in the tax record, you can tell if it's an absentee owner or owner occupied.
Okay.
Only go to doors that are owner occupied. Definitely don't go to any doors that have a listing pending or something that just sold, because that person just moved into the neighborhood. So instead of knocking on every single door, I had criteria of what doors I wanted to knock on.
And where do you get that?
CRS. So in Georgia MLS, you can go to the CRS tax suite. You can go to Realtors and FMLS, or you can go to Remind. It's 3 different data sources that are free. That's where, so it's Georgia MLS, the CRS. It's either CRS or CSR tax suite, but in Georgia MLS.
Tax what?
Tax suite.
Suite? S-U-I-T-E.
S-U-I-T-E.
Oh,
FMLS Realtors or Remind are the 3 data sources. You're gonna need those data sources for your postcards, for your neighborhoods, and all that. That's where you're gonna pull all that data out. So door knocking, don't go to absentee owners. Don't go to anybody that's currently listed or pending. Don't go to anybody that recently sold. Just take those people out and keep it moving. Make sure you have a script in mind. In the beginning, have a clipboard, the script on the clipboard, and the house addresses that you want to go to. You know, don't try to memorize everything. It's okay in real estate to look down. My script, super simple. Hi, I'm Rashonda. I have a buyer that wants to live in the neighborhood. Do you know any of your neighbors who are looking to sell?
Cool. And what was your postcard? Or what did you leave?
We left a flyer. So it was literally like it was a flyer is what I left. I may have copies still in my office.
It was just you, hey.
It was just me, Rashonda, some comments, my contact information. I actually got a potential seller talking to them on their Ring doorbell. like she never don't know what the lady looked like at all. It was the Ring doorbell. Total conversation. Make sure you listen. Come from contribution. When you knock on the door, always take a step back so they can see you. Plus you don't want to be like too close. So not step back. And then just go from there. Make sure anybody you talk to, you check off on your list so you can do a follow-up as well. So you can send them a personal handwritten card. Nice talking to you about whatever, let's stay in touch. And then you add them to command and continue to nurture them. So the next one is agent to agent referrals. If you go to page 6, this is basically the referrals that come. So your friend in Florida, y'all should be doing agent to agent referrals and communicating like, hey, we can help you anywhere. So you build a relationship with agents. You pay them, depending on the agent, anywhere from 25 to 35% of the deal, depending on how much work they've already did with that client. So I have a client now that was referred by another agent. I have someone, which is why we have to somewhat get back on track. I have a referral that I have to call at 12 from an agent in DC. So agent to agent referrals work. You can do that in command as well, where you can go make sure your agent profile is built out in command by doing your marketing profile. And just make sure you stay top of mind to agents. So for me, I have postcard communications that I send to agents, reminding them that I'm their Atlanta referral partner.
Nice.
So this is the way that you do it in command. In command, there's a My Referral network where you can go in and see who you want to target and who's looking. And people, you definitely want to be set up in this because, again, another benefit of Kelly in command is sometimes people don't know who they want in Atlanta. So they just go into command and send out a broadcast message to everybody saying that's set up, saying, hey, I'm looking for an agent in this area, this is the price point, blah, 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 this is what I want from a referral percent, and it comes to your phone as a notification, and you say, yes, I'm interested, and you keep it going. So make sure you're set up in this area, if that's something you're interested in doing.
That's under connect?
Command, that's in command. And so.
Yeah, we're in command. So if you go into command, log into your account, and in the dashboard.
Oh, it's the fourth one that it's under referrals.
Yeah, it's gonna be under referrals, and you just click on it. Gotta remember my password. I'm not throwing myself out. I'll figure it out when y'all go into groups. I don't know.
It's under command 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one down, right under on the left, right under smart plans. Click referrals and that dashboard comes up.
Yeah, because y'all know when y'all log into command, you have like a left toolbar, and you just highlight over each one, and you'll see agent referrals. And once you click on that, this is what you see. It's this screen right here. Page 7. Okay, so let's go to the next one, open houses. I would say open houses was one of my main ways that I built my business from a non-spirit perspective. That I did open houses, I did mega open houses. I would connect with the people that were there and then go from there. So if you go to page 7, and I would say that most agents, this has been one of their big ways. So I want to make sure that we spend some time. We won't break down into a group and discuss it. But open houses are very inexpensive, and they do have a great return on investment. You can start building your reputation around a certain neighborhood. Like, so say, hey, I'm interested in farming this neighborhood. You can go look at the listings in that neighborhood, contact the listing agent, and ask if you want to, if you can host an open house for them. And you go through a whole open house plan to be able to connect with the people in that neighborhood and to help build your brand.
So you don't, an open house doesn't have to be your listing? Oh, okay. And
It doesn't.
I'm so new to this, I never heard of that.
No,
Does it have to be, can it be like a pre-existing listing that's just there, or does it have to be like brand new for somebody to wanna do an open house for it, like?
it can be a pre-existing listing. I will tell you that, again, Renegades, I did all kind of different open houses. You don't wanna do sale listings.
Okay.
And when I say a sale listing, it's something that's been on the market for a while because you're not gonna get any traffic to come into that open house.
Right.
So you do want to do something that's either, unless it's just an area that you love and you're like, "Whew, I wanna do an open house here." Again, I'm from Louisiana, we really like to party, so open houses became like a big party for me, like, boom. And so there are certain neighborhoods that I just love and I just wanted to do an event, an open house event there.
Over
That's
2
you?
day span or 1 day?
Typically I do one day, but it's totally up to you. Like, so my open house day is Sunday 2 to 4. That's when I'm doing them, hands down, for me. That's when I do them. But it's really up to you and what your schedule is and looks like. So a lot of people do a 2 day, Saturday, Sunday type deal. Typically when I do an open house, I invite the neighbors to the open house as well. So they have a chance to come in and look because, again, I want to reach out to them.
Off topic, but we're still on topic. Can you offer alcoholic beverages at an open house, like
Yeah,
a cocktail?
yeah,
They
you
walk
can.
around?
You can do alcohol, you can do mimosas, mimosas is alcohol. You can do whatever you want to do. Like, you can do like evening open houses. You can do like, so for this multi-million-dollar property, like, of course we had like wine and stuff. We actually had people out there with art. We had some violinists play. Like, it was an event to come here. Like, you can do whatever you want to.
What type of agent, or how do you reach out to an agent to even want to let you do it? Like, how would they trust you to do an open house for them, or how does that work? How do you get permission to do it?
So you reach out to them, like, our listing board. You can look at our listing board in the hallway, say, oh, I know what that address is. This is the agent, call them. Hey, I'm Ro. I would love to do an open house for your neighborhood. This is what I do. You tell me what you do. And I'll definitely provide you feedback from the open house. As listing agents, we want to hear the feedback of how our open house went, how many people came, what were they saying about the house. I'll put out signs, I'll put out balloons. But most of the time, agents, you just have to make them feel comfortable that you're going to handle that open house correctly.
Classy.
And classy,
they have to
yeah.
trust you.
And they
Okay,
have-
cool.
yeah.
I like that.
And honestly, once you get used to
That
it,
sounds like something I could be more comfortable.
yeah, once you get used to it, if you do a great job, that agent's gonna remember you. When they have new listings, they're gonna call you and say, hey, you want to call my open house? Cool.
So, and you said that there's a model, not just that, but is there, like, you go into command and it tells you these are the things that you need to do to make sure you do for an open house?
Yeah, and it's also on page 7 of your thing. It's on page 7, 8, and the reason why they spend so much time giving y'all the model for open houses is because people definitely build their careers off of open houses. So page 7 through 9 really talks to you about how to do an open house. You can email me. Open houses is the way I really built my business. If you want my plan of what I do, you can email me at rosoldit@kw.com. In the subject line, put Hey Ro, and you'll get my whole open house plan.
Okay, you said all of that too fast. So-
She's gonna write on the
rosoldit@kw.com. Hey Ro, I'm penmanship. I type really fast. I write really horribly. Okay. So this is when we get to the plan. I really want to get to the plan part. If this is something that y'all really like, then this is for your preparation people. If this becomes your number one lead, your lead source that you want to focus on, you just develop the plan and you just follow that over and over and over again.
So you said don't choose a property that has been on the market a long time. What do you consider a long time?
So in this market, if it's been on the market for like 2 weeks, long time.
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause I have an overpriced listing and the suggestion, Michelle said to do an open house during the week for agents, so I'm gonna do it next Wednesday.
So there's broker open houses is what Michelle is suggesting that you do. And at a broker open house, agents come in and they can give you feedback on pricing, they can give you feedback on features to kind of help you figure out if there are some changes that need to take place. And once you do all this stuff, I'm gonna go on to the next prospecting method because I definitely want us to make sure that we get the time in that each one of y'all develop what your focus areas are gonna be. And then based off of that, I can go back and dig and dive deeper on something if I needed to for you guys. So the next item is social media. So if you go to page 11 of your participant handbook for social media.
How on earth? You're awesome.
This will help you really select your social media strategy. So again, social media, y'all going live on Instagram. So your thing may be social media and open houses and whatever else. And so you really want to be able to dig deep from a social media perspective. The major thing is that you follow this model of select, seek, share, service. Select what your message is going to be. Seek out who your target audience is you want to get. Share content that's relevant to them and service their needs is my way of summarizing everything in this book on what they told me. So. And overall, like if you look at my social media, you're supposed to be 20% business, 80% personal. I am sucking wind right now on following this balance. Like I have someone who posts my business stuff for me and I'm supposed to be posting personal stuff and I'm not doing a very great job of posting the pictures. Before we leave today, we need to take a picture because that's 80% personal. And so, but your content really needs to follow that model in order to be effective from an 80-20 perspective. So make sure that you're asking questions and you're addressing lifestyle things because you can be talking about what it's like to be young and investing in real estate and showing what that looks like to people on social media through your personal pictures that you're taking, as well as the business content that you're sharing. Like, hey, don't worry about your student loans anymore. This is what just happened. Because that is a big worry for people that comes through. So just make sure you're following the 80-20 rule if social media is going to be your main thing. Let's go to my favorite part, which is we're about to take action and develop a plan. So overall, 80% of agents get their business from the top 5 lead sources, 90%. Are y'all so brand new that you don't have leads yet, or do you have leads? Do the majority of y'all have leads or don't have leads?
I have
leads.
If you have leads, raise your hand.
I have
If you have more than 5 leads, raise your hand. Okay, cool beans. Congratulations. So what we're going to talk about, like, right, such a fake, like, in the moment picture. So we're going to, if you had more than 5 leads, we would do this, where we would list it, we would prioritize it, and then we will focus. So what we're gonna just skip over to is, for you, what are your lead sources that you wanna focus on? But overall, at the end of your first year of being in business, you wanna look at all of your leads, where do they come from, and you mark it down like this. You just list it. I got this from, in this example, door knocking, calls to spare, agent referrals. Then look at what were your tops, and then say, hey, I really need to focus on this. I will tell you that when I did this exercise, after being in the business for a while, one of the things I realized, like for my business last year, I was 100% referral based. It either came from my sphere, it came from past clients, or it came from agents. In the past, it would have been flipped because I had a lot of my leads coming from open houses. Because again, that's the way that I built my business with no sphere. And this is in your book on page 13.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in your book on page 13. So let's develop y'all's plan.
It never looks as good as it does on the projector.
On the projector?
That looks good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got information in there.
Right, exactly.
And these numbers are just fake, by the way.
Because they want us to fill it out.
Oh.
Yeah. And these numbers are fake, by the way. Like that 10, 7, blah, blah. This is based off an example of an agent, like said, hey, for their business, for their year, this is where they got this. So they got like 10 leads from door knocking. They got 4 from client parties. And then it just showed you how to prioritize in order of most referrals to leads. And then you focus on your 5. So let's go. Y'all have supposed to have breaks and all that stuff, and we just be rocking and rolling.
We don't have breaks.
Yeah, that's what
Well, I mean, when I say breaks, people usually, there's been group activities that we were supposed to do, but we've been doing a collective group activity. And typically when people do the group activity, that's when people went out.
I don't know how to do.
But I wanna make sure that everybody gets their plan. So go to page 14 and 16 in your book. And what we're gonna focus on is developing your prospecting plan. We're gonna base out of this, let me look at it, in y'all's book, we're gonna base it all on these different avenues that we talked about. So let me go back to this slide. This one. All right. So y'all look at this slide of all of these things that's on here. You have phone or face-to-face. We didn't really go into detail, but you can do physical calls, you can do inspired listing calls. You can circle prospect, you can do community outreach, you can do key relationships, you can teach, you can do meals, door-to-door, blah, blah, blah. Look at this list. For you, what are the 3 things on this list? They don't have open houses. Add open houses, add social media. Agent referrals. So open houses.
So we're adding that to the prospecting?
Add that to the prospecting.
Okay.
Social media, it may be in your book. Social media, agent referrals. Door knocking is up there. Of all of this plus that stuff over there, take some time and think about what are the 3 things that you want to focus on as your prospecting methods, and write that down as 1, 2, 3 on page 14.
So choose 3 things off this prospecting list that'll be.
That's gonna be your focus. Off of this list plus those other 3 that I brought over there.
Okay.
And that's for everybody in here. Because the majority of y'all said y'all need help with being prepared, going into action. So everybody should have 3 things that they're writing down, that they want to focus on.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
So on this list, it says recently sold listings. What are you doing for a recently sold listing?
So you market to that neighborhood, typically with a postcard. You could do a postcard, a text, and a call saying, hey, I recently sold this property in this neighborhood. So that's what the recently sold. Like, so I have.
Oh, if it was your listing.
If it was your listing.
Okay.
Yeah. Technically, it should be your listing. Yeah.
How do you market to apartment complexes?
Ooh, girl, I'm about to do that for mine, because I live.
Listen, I gotta go. Ooh, girl, you can definitely market to apartment complexes.
Yes.
The key is holding home buyer events to your marketing complex. So you can do the flyers, you can do the emails, because you can get all, again, that's a data source. You can get all that data for a specific apartment complex and invite everybody out to a home buying event via flyers, via emails. Heck, one time, so you can also do this if you wanted to, like during different times of the year. Stand, if you have a gate, you can just say, hey, I'm gonna stand out at my gate for an hour and pass out water, muffin, or whatever as people are coming in with your branded stuff on and inviting them again. Make sure, again, going back to that mofer, make sure whatever you're doing is tying back to something. So tie it back to a home buying event. So you can, an apartment complex is a great place to target people because your whole campaign is, you know how much you're paying in rent.
Yep.
It comes up to this much in mortgage.
I have a question. What about partnering with the apartment complex?
You can try that.
But they don't want people.
But
leaving their
I was gonna
apartment.
say, but it's, yeah, you can try, it just depends. You can bring out an ice cream truck, depending on what your apartment complex is like, you can do all kinds of stuff in an apartment complex.
What if you don't live in an apartment complex, so it would just be like if you host an open house, like invite them to it?
Or you can, so I have apartment complexes by me, and that's on my plan, is to target those apartment complexes. I don't live there.
But you were saying like.
So how do you get that information?
All those 3 data sources. But the major data source for apartment complexes is gonna be Remind. It's not gonna be Tax Suite because they don't own the property. It's not gonna be Realtors because they don't own the property. It's gonna be Remind. Or you may have to end up paying for that particular apartment complex from like Smart Data. You may have to do that list. The cheap way is the, you know,
Need all the cheap ways.
the cheap way is just go stand and walk around the neighborhood, and as you see people, hey, here's this event. That's a cheap way. Get some stuff in. So, but that can be a major source. Like you can always have some type of home buying event that you're constantly inviting people from an apartment community standpoint too. You're constantly marketing to them that, hey, you're paying this much in rent, it can be this much in mortgage. So have y'all identified y'all 3 things yet?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so let's go on to part B. Part B is you're going to, for each thing, this is kind of your, does this make sense part. You're gonna write down the pros of that being a priority and the cons of that being a priority. This is your, yeah, this sounds good, but let me make sure that it is a good idea. So write down pros and cons. So if you picked listings without agency, like expired listings, that's gonna be a cost associated if you want to use a data source. Thank you. So yeah, so that would be a con. The pro is an expired listing is a ready seller that wanted to sell their property. So you should be able to convert higher.
Where do you buy those? I'm sorry.
You have to use like a Red X, Land Voice. You go to a company to get it.
Okay, that was my question. You were saying for sale by owners as something you have to pay for?
So for sale by owners, so each option you have the free cheap way and you have the labor intensive way. For sale by owner, you can go to forsalebyowner.com, click on each property, get the phone number, call. Cheap way, labor intensive. Expensive way, you pay for a list that has the number, the name, and who are the people that you can actually call.
So, about those lists, because I've read some horror stories that some of them are selling lists that people have already said they don't want to be on the do not call, like, so how do you know what lists are trustworthy, like what websites? Is there any way to vet them?
Use the ones that people use the most is Red X, Land Voice, and just make sure you pay attention to the do not call indicator. There's a whole big do not call compliance on one of these pages that I'm going to point you to.
Okay. Are you saying Reddit or RedX?
RedX. REDEX. This is I don't have any board space. It's RedX. Land Voice is gonna be cheaper out of the 2. All right, so pros and cons. Let's get those pros and cons down. But for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, let's go ahead and focus on part C. So I want you to pick your absolute favorite method that you plan on using for prospecting. And let's fill out part C on page 15.
I have a question. When it says investor, what does that mean?
And so investors are people investing. So they're looking for going after that investor market. So they're looking for deals, so they can do a flip or they can do a buy.
How would you get connected with those people if you don't have a sphere that is connected to that?
So you have to go to like meetups. You will have to mostly meetups, and you have to join different investor groups. So an investor that's going to be all these key relationship stuff. If you don't have these relationships in place, this is long-term nurturing. This is not your money in 30, 40 days, just as a FYI. So it wouldn't be my main source, is what I'm saying.
The key relationships?
The key relationships, unless you already have a key relationship with somebody, with one of the people in this category, it's not your main source as a new person to get money in your pocket.
I thought investors kind of bad like the agents. Is it true or not true?
Not true. Like I have a lot of investors. I actually just posted a story on one of my investor clients.
Okay.
So you have to vet the investors and make sure that you're dealing with an investor that's not going to waste your time.
Yeah.
And investors usually work with multiple agents, whoever can find them the best deal, until they have a confidence in you to manage their entire portfolio. So that's why I say it's a long-term play. It is not, a quick thing.
I'm on one of those like Facebook groups, like there are different agent Facebook groups and real estate Facebook groups, and whenever somebody mentions something about an investor, all the comments are like, beware, oh, beware of that, be careful.
Yeah, you definitely have, if that was on somebody's top plan, I have a whole investor plan that I can walk you through. But again, it shouldn't, based off y'all's hands, I would strongly recommend, it's not my, it's not my bank account. Yeah. But I would strongly recommend that you don't focus on that in the beginning. All right, how y'all doing on filling out page 14? Let's fill out page 14 for our prepared folks that need to be prepared. Yeah. For our time blocking folks that need the time blocking prioritized. For our folks that need to know how to get started and to get past this step to your first baby step. So basically for all of y'all, you need to do page. You need to do this page. Y'all are not leaving this room. I'm not moving forward until this page is filled out, because this is our key page of our entire conversation of what we've been spending time on. And it definitely helps you. So Jason, I'm thinking about you. It helps you with your confidence too, because this page is your plan page. So once you know how you're executing your main prospecting method, it just helps with everything overall. So the prospecting method I selected, the resources that you needed, the time frame, your target, the actions. You want someone to say how you will know it's successful. Because depending on what you pick, it doesn't matter. There's a way that you know if that works or not, and it's a success. And how you're going to keep track of your results. Okay. Go ahead.
Can I hear from people what their pros and cons are?
Skip to the next page.
Okay.
Yeah, skip to page 15. Oh, that's why. Oh, What question are y'all on? Has anybody reached the what action do I want someone to take step?
No,
All right, let's take 5 more minutes. How you participate in here is how you're gonna participate out those doors. So this page covers your time management, it covers your confidence, it covers your action, it covers your time blocking, it covers your money-making time, it covers your lead gen with no fear, it covers your finding ready buyers, and it covers needing to be prepared. This is the page. Cool thing is, we're all here, so once you get stuck on a question, we can brainstorm together. So,
Timeframe is like, is that like the amount of time that I would need to spend to ensure that I make this happen?
the time frame,
Mhm. Or is that saying more so how like
Is that-
within what time frame or
Is
like
that giving myself a deadline? Or how much time it should take for me to get this in action?
Mm-hmm.
the time frame I would say is how long you're going to evaluate it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
And let me tell y'all why I'm saying this. We're in elementals, so to me, your time frame is not how long before I actually implement it.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
you said it's how long, what?
How long you're gonna take to evaluate it. So for me, in my head, all y'all are implementing this within the next 2 weeks, whatever you pick. Like we're in all honesty, I wanted to say today. Then I was gonna give you this week. But I mean, by the end of next week, whatever your number one thing is, this should be rocking and rolling. Alan, you had a question?
So when you said 2 weeks, evaluate it in 2 weeks?
No. Yeah, more than likely, your evaluation time frame is gonna be 6 months.
I put 3
Okay.
months, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on what your thing is. So let's say if your number one, the only thing that I can think of that maybe, I can't really think of one that should be 3 months to tell you the truth.
Really, it should be 6?
Yeah.
Even like
because-
a for sale by owner, because I think like that's something I'd like to.
Okay, well, see, that's the wise and good example. For sale by, because for sale by owner, no, because it's not a one call deal with for sale by owner, so you have 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
So 6 months to massage it and make it come
To see if it's,
fruition?
I think, worthwhile, to see if
Yeah,
it's
so
a
if it's
worthwhile
worthwhile.
endeavor, or if you should switch up to a different technique.
Because-
I think that's
Oh,
what, I
evaluation.
think that's, yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's
for
what you should do.
evaluation, because the 6 months plays into like, how will I know if I'm successful?
Okay.
How am I gonna track my results? The reason why I say for sale by owner is a lot of times you have to follow up with for sale by owners. It's not a one call deal.
Yeah,
So that's why 3 months is not enough time for one for sale by owner. You
yeah.
gotta give them.
I feel like once I get somebody on the phone that wants to do that whole little dance of why they don't need you, I feel like that's my time to be like, I'm gonna show you why I need you. So I feel like that's more of a restraint than saying like, hey, Rob's buddy, you know, you gotta
Yeah.
use me because I'm Rob's friend.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I mean,
And
Rob's
so
wife,
for
you
that
know,
for sale by owner, you have to build, it's a literal,
Cause they might say, I'm good, and then they might call you a month later.
no, can I call you next week? All right,
Okay.
cool, good, you next week. If it's okay, I'm gonna check in with you next week. I'm only gonna ask you 3 questions.
Okay,
Have you had the good fortune of selling your house?
okay,
You tell me yes, congratulations, I'm off the phone.
okay,
Are you ready to work with me as your agent?
nice,
If the answer is no,
nice.
can I call you next week? Those are 3 questions you call every day.
Can you use those kind of same types of tricks with like expired listings, like, hey, so
Yeah.
any action? Can I call you next week and see
Yeah.
if you wanna maybe
Because
reconsider?
it's all about building up, following up, and building that relationship.
I like those.
They're working on their prospecting plan. Everybody in here should have something that they're putting into place within the next 2 weeks to generate business from their number one lead source.
Okay.
You're not gonna disappoint Ro, I'm just telling you.
One of the things that I was thinking about was open house. I put in and I got your checklist. Have the stuff that you're talking about, I mentioned before, all of this
It's new?
is brand new to me. You know what I'm saying? All of these things I've heard of, but I have no idea.
So on our YouTube channel, I did an open house class, and it's
Okay.
on our YouTube channel.
And our Monday class is open houses.
On the
Okay.
Atlanta perimeter one or on the Rawls Group General?
On the
The
Atlanta perimeter.
Atlanta.
Perfect.
Okay, YouTube.
KW space for another.
Can you set a channel? And then
So, bro, you're
everything's
still
on
rocking
the
and rolling, right?
I am.
So
Have you had a good fortune of selling your house? Are you ready to hire me as an agent?
Enter a contact. So it's like very like targeted videos.
Can I call you next week? Okay. Who's done? Okay.
Ish.
Alright. You said I'm right. What you're working on?
I just don't know how to answer this question.
Social media.
You know how you do the beginning of the week? like,
Yeah.
capture and then post it. I would wanna target everybody. What I would want someone to do is get in contact with me, how I would track my results. I was thinking over the span of 6 months, I'd see how I did from the beginning of the 6 months to now.
So in Command, the way you would track your results is you would add, if someone contacts you, say, hey, I'm interested, you add them as a contact in Command, and you add them as a cultivate, and you would tag them as social media. And then at the end of the 6 months, you go in and do your filter, pull everybody with that tag. So you see how I got, like, this person, I took a class over at Tech Village. I'm somebody who needs constant kick. So I took a class at Tech Village with all these tech people that's building tech companies, startup summer school. They really call themselves A-Night. Tagged them summer school. I met them at Tech Village. They're an entrepreneur. And I'm able to go back and see how I did with this particular group of people. So that's how you'll track your results. That's the easiest way. So for you, it'll be social media. I would even put, like, if they came from a certain live event that you did as a tag, then you'll go back into Command, pull it, and keep going. All right, what do you have on yours?
I don't know why it's not.
Oh, here, you can have my page. No, she can have my page. Look, after today, I'm not, Who else was done?
I'm done if you want to be on. One of them. Okay, so.
We're gonna work. I did.
Costco workers on. Okay, so. Queen Ben's. Basically, it's coffee.
Okay.
And then.
Okay. Okay.
Volunteer work, community outreach.
Okay.
President.
Okay, yeah.
I've got a union.
Okay.
Probably 2 days. And then social media combined.
Okay.
Great presentation.
Okay.
COVID shut it down.
Yeah. So what's your number one thing then?
Okay, but sorry, there are pros and cons.
Okay.
I think the skills are pros, no immediate result.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so. That's a good to all these ones, etc.
Yeah.
Time frame that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, such a, so do you wanna go to events or do you wanna pull people in together?
Good.
You wanna go? Okay.
And then I put together events.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Buying events, services. Oh, I don't know, that's what I
Right.
I wanna keep track of your referrals.
So for you, the only other thing I would add is go ahead and figure out what these events are.
Okay.
And so you need to go to at least 2 events a month. You can start.
Easy.
That's it. Okay, so I'm gonna add, well, that's easy. Make sure you go to 1 event, a week.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
tried to do.
So do 1 event a week.
Try to attend an event a week or sit with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like go to an event a week. Choose one place that you use to sit with everybody. Like have everybody come to that one place and you end up having like their table. This is my table, you know the waitress, they know the routine. And
Yeah,
have
I've got
people
2 of
come
those.
in. Yeah.
2 of those.
And then you can really track your numbers that way.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I think so. Let's look at Paige, cause she came in and gave me my warning. So I wanna
That's what
make
she was
sure,
doing.
so I wanna make sure I make it to everybody. Circle prospecting, what type of circle prospecting?
To my apartment. Well, I live in the
Okay.
bank station, so
Okay,
everyone there.
so, yeah,
Flyers, emails, food. I just reopened a space in our, I have a place to do it, but
Okay.
I need flyers, food, emails to get them started, to get them to come to it.
okay,
I can do that in the next 2 weeks.
okay. Do you feel comfortable hosting, like a home buying topic to this group?
Yeah.
So
That's what we do.
so make sure that's your specific call to action is come out, whether that's gonna be in Zoom or you're gonna do it in person.
Oh, this is my call to action.
That's your specific call to action to them. It's like, hey, you're paying too much for rent, come to this event where you can learn how to save money and how you can apply this to a mortgage. And do one event, if it's live in person, commit to doing one event a month, specific day of the month, every third Wednesday, every second Tuesday, it doesn't matter what it is. Saturday morning, whatever the theme is, but commit to doing that specific thing. And launching in July, it's July 15th.
Okay.
I'm kind of behind, so I don't even have access to the computer yet.
Okay.
Command, but I do, so one of my major resources is get Walmart access in. So I
Okay,
can get into MLS and get into Command and all that stuff. But I would like to work on the for sale by owner, because I feel like they're already wanting to sell.
yeah,
And I think that they have like an energy that I like. I feel like for sale by owners have a little bit more of an ego.
okay,
And I feel like I tend to gravitate towards people that are strong.
okay,
Like that, I feel like in the beginning, plus my background's in asbestos-led mold remediation. I know old homes, I know all that like stuff. So I feel like I'll be able to maybe help, hey, what's up, what do you think your challenges are? Are you struggling with any kind of thing like that? Evaluate after 6 months.
yeah,
My target is buyers, sellers initially, but obviously I'm gonna target everybody.
okay,
Investors is on here because I wanna be an investor.
okay,
So my mind is always gonna be in the background, is always gonna be in that kind of sphere. I wanna buy a house for my family.
okay,
I think my call to action would be an actual appointment. I
Yeah.
feel like getting the appointment, I'll know I'm successful if I get a listing out of it,
yeah,
and I'll keep tracking.
okay, cool beans.
What do you think?
So make it super easy in the beginning,
Okay,
for salebyowner.com.
so but done,
Click
okay.
the address, get the phone number.
And just hustle it for 6 months and see if that's my niche.
Yeah,
And then if it's not, flip it up. I mean, I'm gonna do other things in between, like social media, I'm working on that.
and so your other things in between would be those two other, I'll make that statement.
Okay, I was gonna
It's
say.
Those two other
Okay,
things.
basically mine is for sale by owner, and then you just say,
For salebyowner.com. It's for salebyowner.com and it's fspo.com. And it's Zillow.com. Zillow has for sale by owner on it.
So you could just sort them out by that, okay.
It's 6 months, so you wanna do this,
okay, I
You wanna
have
do
that
it
down here for how much, oh, okay.
your track your results. So if you're doing something for everybody, your track your results is gonna be very similar, no matter what you're doing. How many contacts did you make? How many of those contacts converted into an appointment? How many of those appointments converted into a signed agreement, whether that's buying or selling? Of those signed agreements, how many of those people actually went under contract? Those people who went under contract, why am I walking to the right? Those people who went under contract, how many closed? Your conversion tracking is all the same, no matter what you're doing. Contacts / leads, how many contacts leads you got? How many people allowed you to set an appointment with you and they kept? How many signed with you from a buyer or seller agency perspective? How many you got under contract? How many actually closed? Those are all your tracking metrics that you need to keep track of.
And that is in Command?
You can do all that in Command. Because it's under this thing called opportunities that you see. Okay.
So, I want to focus more so, because I noticed that when it comes to houses.
I know what you want all the time, I feel like you're giving me more stuff that I need, like I need other needs, those ones
Now moving forward,
Says go to this website. I'm like, okay,
since I have an iPad, and I created a landing page, and I got a stand from Amazon, so I put it directly in the door. I can actually like COVID.
Yeah, things.
Like, girl, you need to start COVID. I use that in order to get leads, and from there, and talk to
Do you mind speaking to everybody, because now that everybody's
No, I
here,
care.
I'm gonna have y'all last, so we just tell everybody. Are y'all cool with that? Since everybody's done and we're pressed for time, I'm gonna have the last 3 people share theirs to everybody, and then we can all just pitch in. So everybody can hear whatever advice I'm giving, because I know that they have different things than what I'm trying to talk to. Don't start over though.
Okay.
I really legit got a 12 o'clock call.
Okay.
So, successful.
Mhm.
How do you know? So Jason's thing is open houses. How are you gonna know you're successful?
I'm successful if I'm able to get in contact with them, like build a relationship and set an appointment. That's how I will know if I'm able to be successful. If I'm able to get them an appointment and get them pre-approved.
Yeah. Veronica and Dolores.
Sorry. It's Vic. It's Vic. Don't blame Veronica. It's Victoria. I'm the bad one.
Oh, Victoria.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to take my
Oh, okay, it is Victoria. I was like, man, did I write your name down wrong?
No.
I wrote it wrong. I just said it wrong. Okay. And you're going, so for you to measure your results, one quick thing, there's automatically an open house smart plan in command. Use that. Don't reinvent the wheel. Open house smart plan, and it's gonna track your results for you as well. What you got? Which one of y'all wanna go first?
Well, I actually have open houses as well.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So, which part do you want me to say?
Do all of yours, cause I
So the resources, I need signs, I need to get the lists, I need to have the supplies, and that kind of thing, for the open house. The time frame, 2 weeks.
okay.
The target would be buyers. The action, I thought that possibly meant to get their information, follow up with them, assess their needs, and then set an appointment for
Okay.
consultation. And then, to know if I'm successful, before you just said that, I said sign the buyer brokerage agreement.
Okay.
And then keeping track of the results would be, how many open houses, how many people showed up, how many leads or how many contacts I got from each one of those, and how many, followed through with the agreement, who actually signed with me, and then we found properties and, closed and everything.
Okay. Your time frame will be 6 months.
6 months.
And both of y'all need to figure out how often you're going to do an open house. In a month, how often are you gonna do an open house? And that needs to be a part of your plan. Because you need to measure yourself. So let me get her right quick. Anita?
Oh, that was in here.
Oh, that was.
You mean Veronica?
I was calling Victoria and Veronica. All right, I'm back now. I'm sorry, Veronica, my apologies.
So I did residential sale by owner, I did open house, and
Okay.
the other one was social media.
Okay.
So I need to learn the real estate industry so I can provide knowledge for my, fan base or people who are watching me. I feel like I need to get the right resources. I don't know how I would get them, but I'm gonna find them. I'm not really too sure. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about like, what do you mean like?
You're right. I'm gonna show you the resources right now. Can you do me a favor? Give me 1 second. Cause I legit do have a 12 o'clock off. Let me text her and tell her I'm gonna be late. I did tell her I was in class. Her name's Stella. Just say whatever. I trust your judgment on it. Resources, I'm gonna show you resources. I don't have a sheet. And then your successful would be the same thing.
I did a year, because I figured there's a lot of people out there, and I don't wanna like get mad because it's only been 6 months, and it's just maybe it could be building traffic, but it's not going to the rate. I don't know.
And that gives up spirit. That's why y'all have to do it for 6 months. And that's why you have to know what your time frame is. Let me help both of y'all. Because one of the things that we struggle with is feeling like we need to know something. And Keller Williams has already done the heavy lifting for us. So, in command, for social media, you go to design, you go to social. Here's on my, you create a new social post. I know I may be moving fast, but what I want to show you is already created. Take what they have in here, use it, or recreate it for yourself. But you don't have to, they have any type of social media post that you can imagine, whether you want to target someone from a seller perspective, a buyer perspective, a lead generation perspective.
Is that under campaign?
Is that
It was
in command or
under-
my KW?
It's in command. So I went command design.
Okay.
And they literally already have stuff in here. Like if you want to be seen as a local expert, they already have the image in here to use. All you gotta do is go into FMLS and pop in the numbers, and that'll go your social media posts. They already have content to help you build up your follower base. They have content already for every holiday. They have content. You don't have to.
There's nothing under here. Where do I get the templates?
Did you go, so you went design, did you hit the plus sign? To create a new,
No. So
Yeah.
social media. Oh, I see.
and then social?
Ah.
And just reuse everything that they have in there. Like legit.
Awesome.
Your first few weeks, rip out, every agent do R&D, rip off and duplicate.
All right, Rashad, look at this for just a second and see, because I did do a social media last year for the holidays, but now if I wanted to do something else.
Oh, you're missing the plus sign that she was supposed
Yeah,
to.
that's, okay.
That's what it was. Go back,
Oh, the red X and stuff?
go back.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, and it's a plus sign.
Yeah.
So what I encourage, I have a touch screen, I'm always trying to touch people's stuff.
Oh,
That's how you do it. If y'all can commit to this for me, y'all can decide whether or not you wanna do a group text or not. But y'all have some similar themes. So for y'all, those of y'all, like y'all are sitting by each other, both of y'all are doing events and social gatherings. Like, so why don't y'all mastermind and make sure y'all plan for all 3 items. So one of the things I did, I had you go to, because of time, we skipped on over to page 15. But technically, you need to be working all three of those lead sources that you noted. Not just whatever I had you put on page, because you need to work all 3 to see what the business is like. You don't want to wait 6 months to realize, crap, these open houses don't work for me, and that's all you did. So you need to work all 3 of those things. But get together. Y'all both had open houses. Y'all both had social media. Y'all both had for sale offers. Get together and balance it out and hold each other accountable. Like y'all legit should end this with somebody under contract or with a signed agreement. Like just put in the work on your plan. You have your plan. So let's time management. Commit. Figure out what your time is that you're going to finalize your plan for all 3, Veronica. No, that's a question.
That's what I'm gonna do. Okay,
I'm gonna come back to you. Before you leave, we need to know when you're completing your plan for all 3 and when you're implementing everything. So look at your calendar and let's time block it. Actually, Alan, that's for you too.
Yeah, put it on the calendar, you said.
Yeah, let's get all your stuff on the calendar, time block when you're gonna do it. And I like as y'all come in, hey, how you doing? What's going on with that thing? You started yours yet? Y'all are a community. Y'all should really be vibing, working together, staying together, and helping to push each other. Y'all should come out of this Ignite class like, yo, we the baddest thing spoken. All of us on this board, what happened? Boom, because we got this. Like, that's how y'all should be vibing as a group, like, real talk. In my opinion.
No, you're right.
Look, in my opinion. This is real, this is not in the book. Confidence. You're gonna have confidence because you know clearly. Clarity brings so much power to you. You know what you need to do. So those script calls that you're doing, that is important for you, especially from an open house standpoint, because you need to know what scripts to say to people as they enter an open house. You need to know how to do an objection that just comes out of nowhere at an open house. So that's going to help you overall with your confidence. Preparation, action, we talked about that a lot. Write this down, finish it, put it into place. Don't spend 10 days writing this out, okay? Oh no, my coffee's really kicking in. I don't need to be screaming.
No, it's great.
Please don't spend 10 days trying to figure out how you're gonna do this. I gave y'all the basic bare bone of how to do every single thing. Social media, don't try to figure out. Go here, use that. For sale by owner, don't worry about paying for a list. Go to those websites, call the person, click on it. Events, figuring out your event, go to the event, wear your name tag. Open house, find the listeners you want to hold the open house to, do the open house.
Question about open houses. Does Command have, that was my question. Does Command have like a digital sign-in sheet, like a check-in sheet? So that you can put your computer up and just leave it at the front door?
So what I use is, and Jason can help you with this.
All right.
I use a landing page. I use a landing page in Command. Everybody signs in through that landing page. When they sign in, it automatically tags them that they came through an open house.
Okay.
Done. Thank you. Your money making time isn't call. Your money making time is literally going to events and connecting with people and having lunch. And that's your, people feel like lead gen time has to literally be calls. No, for you, that's what it is. For y'all, it's open houses. That's part of your money making time is an open house. So it doesn't always have to be a call. Like, don't get that stuck in your head. It's whatever your prospecting method is. Yeah. The time that y'all are spending on social media is your money making time. We talked about that piece already. You need to be prepared. Did all y'all, do you have your one question answered? Does anyone need their one question still answered? Cool beans.
My one question is, are you gonna teach another class?
I am not signed up. I don't know who's teaching the, I will say that Michelle's coming tomorrow. Michelle is really, really great on marketing. So make sure y'all lock in on what Michelle is saying. That's why if you have this plan done, you come in tomorrow, she gives you tips on marketing, you tweaking your plan. By the time between Michelle and I, by the time you leave, what's today? I'm bad with dates. Have I said that already? By the time you leave out of here Thursday, come Friday, y'all are ready to put your stuff in action for real. Like that extra week, so much better already. That extra week I'm giving y'all is really grace. Because she's gonna come in and put the sprinkle on everything that I said and show you how to market it. It's your prospecting base, marketing enhanced. She's gonna come in tomorrow and enhance you. And I know Michelle well enough to know that I feel very strongly that I'm not letting y'all know I'm not saying that.
I did have a question. In terms of, and I've heard people say it, but where do you find the information about networking events? And what type of networking events do you think work best?
Meetup is the easiest one. Just go to meetup.com. The type of, I don't think it's a type of networking. Okay. It's more so making sure that you're connecting. So I do know people who legit, their networking is going to a bar. And they stay at the bar like for 2 hours and they talk to people that's coming in at the bar.
I went to a free like exercise class that was hosted by a chiropractor, and they had a realtor there passing out the water, which is how I got that good water. So it was just like a small event. You know what I mean? But you're talking about the Facebook.
Oh, here's that do not call stuff that I talked about. There we go. Okay. Do not call. So quick ahas to achievement. How has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets are new? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful to you today? How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take going forward? What tools, models, or systems will you definitely use? How will you make that accountable? Don't give me all four. You can just tell me a thinking, feel, action, or tool.
Yeah. When you talked about the open houses and how it can be kind of like party, and like the different aspects that you can have at that party, like live music you were saying, or like champagne and stuff like that. I like that. That was the first time I thought about. I think of open houses as just like kind of more stickler.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you can like get funky with it.
Yes.
So yeah.
I have pop-up shops at mine, like.
That sounds great. That
can do all
sounds so
that.
fun. So yeah, that was a aha.
Sahara.
Saha.
Saha.
Yes.
All right, who's next? Come on, cause we over time.
The social media and like all of it, I actually end up changing so much of what I had in my head because I changed it to doing the event, open house and social media because I am terrible on social media. I'm getting better. And because I'm so bad on social media, when I do actually post, I get a huge response. So I have to work that.
So your thinking changed today.
Yeah.
Love it. Next.
Some new resources on command.
Oh.
Command has everything.
Everything. Next.
The open house deal. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole idea
I
of
have to
open
mark.
house.
I'm gonna send y'all, I actually conducted 2 open house extravaganza or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had panels of the agents that were rocking it, of course. Ro was in one of the groups. But like I had Kiana Collins and so I'll send y'all the links to those 2 videos because I know you won't look it up yourself and I just make it easy. But because seriously our class is on Monday and
Yeah.
I have an open house on Wednesday.
I feel like whether I feel like I accomplish it, I feel like I can apply what is in my mind waiting to be created.
Applying what was in your mind waiting to be created. Oh, it's so sweet. Love it. Oh, I gotta remember that quote. All right, next. Well, y'all are always the last.
Anita, something.
She be taking notes. She be having to catch up. So now I know that pattern by now. Like she over there.
Yes, always thinking and listening. I don't know that anything changed exactly, but I think I just feel better prepared.
Okay, so yours is a feeling.
Yeah.
You feel better prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to execute.
Come on here.
Like that's just my thing. Like I feel like I just need to just dive into the woods and just figure it out. To be honest, I feel like I might be overthinking it.
Yes, that's why y'all have a deadline of Friday. You're done and you're going into action, tattoo action on your forehead. On Monday, y'all should be asking each other, what did you put into action on your forehead? All right, cool beans. Thank y'all so much for your time. I think there's some type of evaluation that you're supposed to fill out.
Yeah, but I sent it to them in a Google form.
She sends it to you in a Google form. My name is Rashonda Rowe Coleman. I have enjoyed. Let's take a picture.
Thank you. You're awesome.
And that's it. Thank
Did
y'all.
you share your?
You can follow me everywhere on social media at Rashonda Coleman. That was just my name.
Yep.
She's
very consistent in that way. Now, gang, it looks like somebody needs to steal our training room tomorrow during Ignite. It's still iffy, but I wanna see if we could reschedule tomorrow's class. Jason's all over it. And
For Friday?
Well, our instructor, Michelle, said she can't do Friday, so another option would be, since we're doing open houses Monday morning, we could try to get some lunch and then go, 12 to 1 lunch and then 1 to 3 do it then. So we're actually, so would everybody be available if we did that if we held it
Extended
Monday?
We'll just extend the class?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we would take a lunch break. Are you working?
I'm out of town. Cause I was already gonna miss Monday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm down for it.
I can do it. I'm good, so.
Cool. I'll report.
Okay, and I can actually, I'll be in later, so maybe I can catch the second half.
Stacy, all of them should have their prospecting plan for their 3 lead sources done on Monday.
So there's no class here tomorrow.
So, right, so we won't have class. which is just made Jason's day.
Mine too, because I will take the time to implement.
Y'all, when I took Ignite twice, and there were 3-hour classes, I mean, it wears on you.
In my
So
brain, it
I
puts me
get it.
behind because this is the time that I had in my head before Ignite, that this is my prospecting time, this is my do
I
this time, and then I have to go to work, so it's like.
I know.
Oh, she said nobody,
She was talking to y'all, so.
she said nobody want to come here and take the picture with me.
She started talking to y'all, so.
All right, gather around so Ro can have them.
Yeah, the longer arms too, tall and long.
Okay, are we gonna do it this way or that way?
Stacy, can
Do
you
we want to
post
see it
that
right?
on
Yeah, just let me take it.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
of
Stacy
the
can
big
take
group
it.
picture?
Do you wanna have this behind? No, that's gonna give off.
It's gonna get the,
Where's this picture going?
To the front.
Okay, look, then this
You
is,
need to be in the picture.
remember what I said about 80-20? Like I take a whole bunch of pictures and then I never post them?
Hold on, I'm gonna
Yeah,
just
that'd
turn
be
out the
sitting
light.
forever. But the likelihood, I definitely would post.
You know, I'm gonna start a little rogue agent over here.
Right this.
Now we can do that.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, back up to the.
I wanna come to your
Oh,
open
no,
house,
no,
let's
we're
be
going
an observer.
behind.
Yeah.
I'll even like, I
just
just be like, I wanna go, I just
I
wanna
would love
watch
for
you.
you to.
Okay,
That'd be cool.
you two don't need to hide in the back.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly, Dolores.
Okay.
Hey, can y'all
Yes.
come a little closer?
You wanna go to the front?
Woo-hoo-hoo, we got cheese. Okay, now everybody do something funny. Cheese. All right. I think we got them.
Thank you.
Let's look at Yay.
Yay, Roshonda, thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
I need to upload that right now.
You look so cute.
Okay, today is.
Look at this rotate. I know. Thank y'all.
Anyways.
Yeah, she said okay.
I don't know, for some reason my mind was like not even thinking. I don't know if I was like, I wrote it like 3 times. 'Cause I was like, yeah, 'cause I was like, wait, does this make sense?
I appreciate, I know it's like out of nowhere, like, I just have to.
No, I feel you.